Hello, Marvel Maniacs! Phil Parrish, agent of the Nuff Said podcast here. Want the lowdown on some of this week's Marvel books? Spoilers ahead. If you don't want to hear spoilers, bail out now. Okay, you were warned. Let's get into the issues for the week of October 22nd, 2014. Avengers X-Men Axis number 3 came out this week. With most of the heroes missing, Magneto and his group of villains attack Red Onslaught. Deadpool drags Iron Man to safety and focalizes his desire to be an Avenger. Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch attempt an inversion spell that would bring out the last spark of Charles Xavier inside Red Onslaught's brain. Doctor Strange is taken out by Red Onslaught, so it comes down to Doctor Doom assisting the Scarlet Witch with the spell. The spell seems to work. Red Onslaught is knocked out and seems to turn back into the Red Skull. The X-Men and Avengers argue over who should get the Red Skull. The X-Men believe the mind of their teacher is now dominant inside the Skull's body. The Avengers want to lock him up and examine him. The two teams part on very tense terms. Is this something that has been building between the two teams, or is there an outside influence at work? For that answer, let's go to Deadpool number 36. Begins a little before the end of Axis 2. Deadpool was at first at the Xavier School, then as he heads home he sees the effects of Red Onslaught's hatred wave. Once he gets home, we see the point where he is recruited by Magneto. Then we see quick flashbacks of the battle followed by the inversion spell. This issue seems to come out and say that yes, the inversion spell did alter the personalities of the heroes and villains at the battle scene. Some villains seem calmer, and heroes seem darker and angrier. By the end of this issue, we see that Deadpool was now more of a contemplative man who doesn't think violence is the answer. What? Amazing Spider-Man 8 features the conclusion of the battle between Spider-Man, the new Miss Marvel, and Dr. Minerva of the alien Kree race. In the backup story, this month's Edge of Spider-Verse story features Spider-Girl in the possible future reality of Earth 982. For those of you not familiar with Spider-Girl, her story was set in a possible future where she is the daughter of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. Personal note, please bring back the Peter Parker Mary Jane Watson marriage, Spider-Man writers. Hint hint. Spider-Girl sees her parents and boyfriend killed by the spider hunter Deimos. She manages to escape with her little brother Ben. She is rescued by some of the other Spider-Men from the other realities. Spider-Girl vows to Deimos that she will kill him for killing her family. Avengers 37 shows the S.H.I.E.L.D. team of Captain Marvel, Sue Richards, Hawkeye, and Maria Hill, led by the now aged Steve Rogers. Steve is older and not Captain America because a radiation attack rendered the super soldier serum in his veins useless. Steve's S.H.I.E.L.D. team attempts to capture the Illuminati group that is comprised of Hulk, Beast, Amadeus Cho, Black Panther, and Sue's husband Reed Richards. The end of this issue reveals Sue is actually a plant inside S.H.I.E.L.D. to help Reed and his group stay one step ahead of S.H.I.E.L.D. Once again, as with last issue of this book and the last issue of New Avengers, the cover says, in 7 months, time runs out. And finally, Amazing X-Men 12 is the final chapter of the World War Wendigo. For those of you who don't know, the Wendigo is a curse that happens within the boundaries of Canada. If a person indulges in cannibalism, they are transformed into the mystical creature that looks like a white furred Bigfoot. This is the creature Rob and Alil were trying to remember the name of in the last episode of Nuff Said. Thanks to a murderer hiding the remains of his victim in a meatpacking plant, thousands of Canadian citizens were affected by the Wendigo curse. The X-Men and Alpha Flight managed to defeat the spirits of the great beasts who are kind of like the gods of the Canadian wilderness and disrupt the spell, curing everyone. Don't be surprised to see Wolverine in this issue. This story began before the death of Wolverine's story. So this happens before his untimely death. Well, that's it for this week. Any questions for me about any Marvel or even DC comic books? Please contact me. My email is nightwingpdp@gmail.com. Until next week, Nuff Said.